That's fine.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are in Southbridge, Massachusetts at the Henry Street Handball Court, the newly built handball court that was first introduced to the town of Southbridge physically on July 21st, and then we've been temporarily painting it, painting the floors, painting the wall, and now we're putting on another coat to make it stand out. Nice color on the wall, nice sky blue to make it pop and get it ready for this Saturday, September 9th. Today is Sunday, September 4th, and we're getting this done on Labor Day.
And to be clear on that tournament, it is an open tournament. There are going to be anybody. I don't care if you're an A player or a pro. It doesn't really matter. You're welcome to play in this tournament. It's free. But they also have a drop-down division, which is the intermediate. You wouldn't be able to play in that if you're advanced. But you know, and then we have novice level and youth and stuff that we're going to be implementing into the tournament. But like I said, although it's a wooden court, it's really the objective to promote the sport and introduce it to a community that will thrive with handball. I honestly think that this town here will produce some of the future, some top players in the future, you know what I'm saying? Because we had to transfer to the Y here in Southbridge. So we have a lot of deep roots. This is a town that's only about 25 minutes from the second largest city in New England, which is Worcester, Massachusetts, where we live by. And we ran obviously numerous tournaments, and we know that it's going to be successful in Southbridge as long as there's a court. You know what I mean? Hopefully, everything works out where we can keep this court here as long as possible, and eventually construct some concrete courts somewhere in this park, and hopefully in another location as well. But the goal is to just introduce it and to come down here and nurture it as well. You know what I mean? Not just put a wall and kind of just walk away from it, but you do have to plant the seeds, but you also have to water to watch the growth. And that's what we're intending to do here. And we know, you'll see. So in a couple of years, God willingly, you'll be able to see, the fruits of our labor, and you'll see, that this was not done in vain. And I think any effort that's done with good intentions is never in vain anyway. But I'm just saying that we know that we'll get a good turnout as far as producing players and stuff like that.
Well said, William. And that's our intention, people, to grow Southbridge handball players, to instill an influence and make a huge impact in the town that I grew up, that I am still attached to. And that's why I'm doing this, because I love my former hometown. It's like my second hometown besides where I currently live in the Worcester area.
This is technically the Worcester area too. You know what I mean? This is, considered kind of like a southern Worcester County. It is, pretty close. There's a lot of people that are, come to Southbridge for things, and they live in Worcester. You know what I mean? And vice versa. You know what I mean? A lot of people go to Worcester from Southbridge. So there's definitely a connection here, and we want to further that connection through handball. And like what my wife and I talked about too, about what we try to do, is we try to bring handball to people that don't have it. I mean, it's kind of easier to just run a tournament in a place that already has tons of handball, but it's really hard to actually bring it to a place that's never seen it before, or hasn't seen it to the level of other places where it's popular. So we're trying to bring it, and then when we see the progress in a place where it was never really done, and then we see 30 players in 3 or 4 years, that's 30 new players, you know what I'm saying? It's not just the same players playing over and over again, which is obviously, they have their tournaments and there's a need for that as well. But we're trying to get, we're trying to do a different area, you know what I mean? Not just running a tournament.
And not just showing up to play. We do more than just show up to play, and that's that. We pay it forward to others to develop the game and educate people about the sport of handball, because a lot of people, they have some knowledge of handball, but they don't understand that in order to grow the sport, you need a wall, you need a place to play, and this is the proper way to introduce it in the town of Southbridge.
And it is inexpensive, you know what I mean? The way we're doing this, was, at max maybe a couple grand to kind of get this done between the wall and labor and other costs that we had to kind of cover. But because we had poles in there, it was probably the most expensive thing to do was getting the actual poles in the back and heading, because that's the foundation. That's what's actually holding up the wall. So if that's not done right, then we wouldn't be allowed to put the wall up. So that's where you have to really kind of, make sure that that's 100%, because you're putting it in a public park, and you have wind regulations and things like that. There's playgrounds around here, so you don't want to put in construction that, especially like a wall or something, that can come down on someone. So, that's where the expense would be. But that's still really pennies.
And we follow the proper channels. We approach the right people to get this done. We did our homework, we did our research, and look at it now. And from there, we'll take it one step further. So I'm gonna leave William out for a moment so get this wall done. And we're looking forward to seeing a lot of people coming to our first ever handball tournament on Saturday, September 9th.
All right.
Good evening.